Hello everyone, I'm CM Varitas. This is the Requiem live stream. We're just getting set up, so please give us a moment while we get everyone in here. Love this memento from Memento Mori. A beautiful piece of artwork. Give us a moment. Alright, Helium will be joining us shortly, so just give us a minute. But I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this giant pause screen. Oh, wait, our chat went away. There's our chat. Hi, so I'm CM Varitas. I'm hanging out in the Haunted Mines, as said. I noticed that on our forums there was concern, why would you announce? Well, at the moment we're just hanging out. Don't worry, we do check for bots on other times. It's just the most publicized one, just because sometimes people will continue to bot in front of the GM. It happened last time, but that's probably why. Don't worry, we are fully aware that probably right now that there are none. Well, the servers also did just come up. So for today, what we'll be covering is, today's kind of a special murder hour, and that we will be having Helium join us. He will go ahead and answer some of the questions that were asked. We have them all printed out here. So, questions are by Rec Bug Killer, Kazarin, Rec Test 1. Don't worry, we have them. We'll get those answered for you, as well as bring up any concerns or thoughts that you may have had in some of the recent stuff going on. We are aware that the servers have been going up and down all day. We are working on getting that settled. Once we do that, we will go ahead and have another bonus weekend. Try and make sure that they're really nice bonuses to kind of make up for the current downtime. Let's see. So, like our last one, just hanging out, doing our thing. Hang on, the researcher. Oh look, here's Helium.
Oh yeah. There I am.
So, Helium's finally joining us. Grab a seat.
Okay.
You might need to roll this way.
Sure. Do that.
Get into the shot.
In
Everyone,
the shot.
this is Helium. Helium. Sometimes we like to call him Jesus, because he's kind of sporting the look.
Yeah. Okay. Or the Zigzag Man, whatever you want.
The Zigzag Man. So this is going to be much more of a kind of Q&A session. Again, going back, yesterday I went ahead and I posted up a forum post. In fact, I should bring that up as well. Although we do have these all covered up, so while I'm doing that, let's go ahead and we'll start with the first one, which was by Rec Bug Killer. Dear Administration, how can we play with broken DNA description of the abilities and randomly teach?
So the effects descriptions of skills, they've been going through some updates. They've been improving, actually, but in the most recent patch there were some issues where we've got strings replaced with numbers that should be strings, where it should say for Adamant Mind, it should say you're immune to stun. Instead it says immune to 40,000. That's not very descriptive. That's incorrect. Shouldn't be that way. It'll get updated in the next patch. I've already made the changes to fix it. But basically, the skill effects, the descriptions are going to remain the same. It's going to describe kind of what the skill does. But the effects descriptions are going to be more specific. So you can actually see what the percentage rate, the success rate is for, say, a skill to hit a target, and then actually how many, like what the percentage difference is per level of difference between you and the target, and stuff like that, like useful information, or what kind of property damage the skill does. So I'm trying to include the things that aren't automatically sort of just injected in there on the descriptions. Above everything else, you'll notice like MP cost for skills and stuff like that. It's just taken directly from the skill assets and put right in there. So stuff like that won't be in the effect descriptions. But everything else, I want it to be very informative. So the fact that they're broken right now is just because of some of the functions I was using to generate all these effects descriptions when I make changes. Rather than going and hand doing each of the changes, I like to have these formulas and workbooks that look up what the skill does and put in what's necessary, the information on the skill. So we had some issues last time. There's some numbers where there should be strings. That's it.
But I mean, overall, it is something you're aware of, and we want to make sure that the players know that you are aware of it.
That it says weird stuff on skills in some cases. Yes.
It is on the to-do list. Also, say
on today.
Mavericky saying hi, Helium. Mavericky, almost 8 years here.
Many problems today is right.
Yes, Mavericky. We are quite aware of the problems. Don't worry, guys. We aren't ignoring it. It is literally a scramble. We have both programmers on.
I had to take down the event temporarily.
Yes.
I couldn't even get one of the maps to work properly. As you all saw, you were all getting stuck with that server system error. That basically means you were going into the new map, and the zone that has the new map on it is crashed. So what's your character to do but just hang in limbo? So, but each time we were restarting the servers to get everyone back, but then the event content, I think it's the maps, because the items are all in there, everything's fine, but the maps, put the maps in there and it's too much. These maps are huge, by the way. They have over 400 monsters on them. There's 8 of them all together. It's a huge expansion of the content, and it's causing us some problems. We're running into limitations that really...
Now, I think a follow-up question to that would be, well, didn't you guys test this first? Yeah. And you guys tested it, right?
Well, the test server right now, we've got 2 new programmers working on stuff for us, and the test server has been up and down and broken and fixed and all manner of things while these new programmers are using it to learn how Requiem works and to get better at working for us.
Although right now they're trying to get the...
We did have the test server up with the map running, and we did test on it, and everything was fine, just like it was on live for a little while. But we didn't experience it crashing like it did, within an hour or so every time. It seems the zone with the new maps on it is going down. So, like I said, we took it off for now, and yes, we did test it, but we're going to have to go back again. And we get different results in the test server sometimes than the live. That's just a
and that's kind of the thing. I mean, I've worked with 2 other major gaming companies, and sometimes things will look great on the test servers, but once you go live, because there's so many variables,
resources are different.
You also have people all across the world, IP issues that pop up, system issues that pop up.
If you're talking about patch errors and stuff like that, it can often have to do with bad connection.
I mean, it would be nice if everything worked exactly the same, but the truth of the matter is each computer has its own specs, its own ideas. Everyone's downloaded something different, and they can all affect Requiem differently, or any video game for that matter. The
test servers all run on virtual machines, for instance, whereas the live servers are all physical, like real servers. There's big differences that might have nothing to do with the game, but that you can get totally different results on one place than the other.
Yeah, and he's right, that's the essence of any, Baka Nuber Shiri says that's the essence of any software development. And it is. I mean,
so many
again, I've worked for 2 other major companies, and yeah, I mean, even the biggest ones, who I won't name right now, I mean, they go live and they've crashed the next day. Even though major testing on multiple live systems, Mac and IBM, I mean, all of them, they still crash. They always find something. But moving on, so
Let's
we
go
still
through
have
questions.
Yeah, let's go over the questions. So Kazarin, who amusingly enough said he had a few questions, what he meant to say is he had 16 questions.
Great.
But so one of the top ones up there is when will all legendary weapons be released? Did you consider to use GM weapon skins look so you could add them all fast and they could look awesome?
Okay, so the legendary weapon that we released is the axe, and it was part of a bigger plan that never really got fully implemented. There is one more design for another legendary weapon which I could release, but it's not statted or anything like that yet, and there's no concept for where it's going to come from. It was kind of, the legendary weapons thing is kind of, not that it was forgotten or canceled, just that it was put on the back burner. We weren't going to use the models that we had for existing weapons to make these legendary ones one at a time. The next weapon set we were going to release is with the expansion for the Valdez dungeon, which are going to be awesome weapons. I wouldn't call them legendary though, but yeah.
No,
We'll get to the legendary weapons eventually.
And Valdez. I know a lot of people are very excited about the Valdez dungeon opening up.
Well, Valdez as it opened right now, it's without its final part, the second part, which should have an attachment onto that dungeon where there are boss monsters and the minions of the boss monsters, where you do kind of like the final battle. But it should be a lot more fun than, like Altar of Sacrifice, where it's just like a big room and 3 monsters. I want to have it be a little more involved than that, so we're taking our time to make that map. That's actually what we're going into full gear this month and next I'm doing.
So let's go on. So the next one is, when are you going to fix elemental skills?
He's going to have to be more specific than that. I mean, Elementalist skills got a pretty big update a while back. Changed the scope of the Elementalist to really deal with elementals, like different properties that are in the game. You got fire, the ones that aren't curse and holy or whatnot. The Elementalist deals with, and there was a major update to the skills, and as far as I know, those things work fine. So if he's talking about something specific that was a problem before the update, then he should be more specific about that. Okay. I don't know which things he wants me to fix in the Elementalist, because I've played an Elementalist. They're pretty good.
So, going on to the number 4 question on the list. Is there something planned for Possession Beasts this year? We'd like to be able to choose the PB that fit the best our stat rolls.
Right. There's been a lot of... I've heard before people want to be able to get whichever Possession Beast they want. It doesn't matter what race. And I'm open to that idea, but to just implement that would probably be a big disbalance. Everyone might shift to just one certain PB. There's not enough. I haven't really researched the whole PB balance enough to think that it would be okay to just do that. Like, just let each race get whichever PB they want. But it's a possibility. It's something that I like the idea and totally willing to consider it, but it's not planned for this year necessarily. I don't know if we'll have time to work on PB system this year.
Alright, so when are you going to add more horror aspects in the game? New players complain of the lack of horror in the game, a nightmare revamp with more horror effects such as ghost screams, red frogs, nightmare assaults on towns, etc., etc., etc.
I thought new map and call this crashing, that was horror enough for me. I don't know about you. But
well, so I'm going to expound on this. So
I have some creepy music I want to put in the game.
Oh,
that's horror.
Actually, I need to talk to you about that.
Okay.
So, to expound on that particular issue, isn't it something that has come up time and time again in our meetings where, yeah, the whole idea that there's not a lot of horror has come in. But that's why we brought in, I had a post about revamping Requiem in general, and one of those things that we had discussed is allowing players to write their own quests. I know that Helium has already kind of made a G document that can be downloaded and filled out, but one of these things is, I mean, obviously we realize that we're not getting content out very fast. A lot of things break, we need to fix them.
And a lot of back-end stuff.
A lot of back-end stuff.
Consolidation and cost-cutting to make sure that we can keep bringing Requiem to you.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody really wants to get experience writing their own quests and really kind of add some horror aspects, that's definitely something that we have talked about. and would love to work with anyone who wants to do that. You can.
Quests are mainly for writers. If it's all about dialogue and it's all about language strings. Quests, that's all quests are, is just big bundles of text. And it's easy enough if a user has a good imagination and wants to participate, they can totally submit quests, and it would be quite easy for me to take those strings of text and make them into quests really quickly.
Yeah.
I would love to go and write those storyline quests right now too.
And then, there's the other thing where we do have a version of Vox at the moment that has, she's darker, she's bloodier, she's a little messed up. We still haven't got her to work though. So
she's invisible.
Yeah, at the moment, one of the things that has also come up is, people want, more stuff. Right now, we're working on that at the moment. For some reason, we have not figured out why yet. New models, new retextured models are coming up invisible. We're working on that. We don't know why. I'm sure as exciting or humorous it would be the first time to walk into a dungeon and see a giant invisible, or not see a giant invisible Voxian attack you.
It's all 3D Studio Max's fault. Just blame 3D Studio Max. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. All right. So moving on to number 6.
Yeah.
When are you going to buff honor skills such as the single attribute option that we are way too weak?
That's something I want to talk about. That's great because that whole system is going to get a complete overhaul. It's actually something that we haven't talked about yet, and I can announce right now that there's
go ahead.
going to be an alternate advancement system. Ooh, everyone's going to get an honor reset too. But don't worry, those hard-earned honor points you had before are going to be nothing compared to what you can do once the alternate advancement system goes in. So you're going to basically be able to say, okay, I'm Cap character. I don't really need to earn experience anymore. Okay, I'll open my character dialog and I'll click this button right here. And now all the experience I would have earned is now going to go into honor points instead. But the grade system is going to be totally overhauled so that because obviously when you get experience, you get a lot of experience, right? Especially off boss monsters and doing a lot of hard grinding, you get experience fast. But you're going to be able to get honor points through that. And you're going to still be able to learn the skills, and we're probably going to expand on those skills a bit too, to allow for those points to be spread out. It's going to take a long time to get to Cap in the honor system. Some people got to Cap pretty fast, whether they're exploiting or not, I don't know. But with the current honor system, it was pretty easy to get to Cap. You could AFK battlefields even, but it's not going to be like that anymore. It's going to be an alternate EXP system, basically for any Cap level character, or you don't have to be Cap level, but you probably want experience until you get Cap level. But then you can divert it. And as far as there was another question here. Did it come right after about the merchant? The merchant is on hold for now for honor points because there's a lot of complications with changing the system to be this alternate advancement thing and then having the merchant as well. But we can talk about that going forward in the future. I'm not saying we won't have an honor points merchant still. We probably will in the future.
It's on hold.
Yeah, it's on hold.
So basically the recap, we are going to have a new advancement system, very much like kind of the alternate leveling system, so that you guys who are already high level have a chance to, increase your character in other ways.
Custom modify your stats.
Yeah.
Like beyond level 90.
Yes.
That's just great.
So now moving on, when are you planning to bring back the strongest battlefields?
As soon as I can get the armors to work again. That's the short and simple answer.
All right.
It's just a matter of testing and tinkering, but there's been other things that needed testing and tinkering before the strongest battlefields. The strongest battlefields were never really that popular, and I'd like to see a little rework of them if I could get the armors to work again anyway. Then when we put that back in, I'd like to see them improved a bit, because they were never very popular.
All right, now I'm just going to go over here. Well, guys, WTF, 42 people watching. Hello, guys. You released a new map, and the mobs is level 69. Can you please release two of the mobs level 90 plus for a max level? Thank you.
There are eight versions of the map with full range of monster levels. Yes, we did that. Problem is we can't get more than one of the map, even one actually right now. working quite right. So that's what I was scrambling on, working on. That's why I was a little bit late coming in here just now, and what I'll be going back to right after this is getting those working. So yes.
All right, and then
New class,
new maps, new mobs, new class, yeah.
New dungeons, yes.
New dungeons, although not yet. We don't have it. It's not ready.
But that's what we're doing.
That is so. As we were discussing earlier, we do want to have the second half of Valdez out. Do you have an idea of when you want that to be released, or I'm hoping it to be released?
Well,
you know,
it
just
would be
a
nice
season.
to do it by. It would be nice to do it by June, but it's probably not going to be until after that, maybe. But at the latest September, no later than September. It can't be later than that, and hopefully earlier. I would like to see it around the anniversary time, but we'll see if we can manage it.
All right, so you've already talked about the merchant, so we're gonna skip over that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you plan to fix some of the old bugs, such as the dash bug?
Dash physics and bugs like that, they're not. See, that would require that we get fixes to the systems that Requiem's physics are built on, which is like Gamebryo and the Havoc engine, as you've all seen when the client starts up. But those Gamebryo versions are no longer supported, and they're all legacy stuff now. And you can't. A lot of those old bugs, you may as well design a new client. It's almost that tough. You've got a lot of legacy stuff you're working with, and we're running up against limitations there, and we're using our programmers to work around a lot of those. But as far as the rubber banding back when you dash sometimes, I can't fix that. I'll just be honest.
No, but at the same time, I have seen over the shoulders of some of our programmers, and they have been working with new mechanics.
And able to fix stuff that has been broken for a long time, too. I'm not saying that doesn't happen. I'm just saying that in particular with dashes, the physics for dashing are kind of the way they are with Gamebryo and Havoc, and the way those systems were built in the first place. And the game has to conform to them. So.
And just find an old Gamebryo programmer, beat
Yeah,
him
right.
over the head, drag him over here, and tell him to fix it.
They'll be like, yeah, buy the new Gamebryo.
All right, so moving on. So number 9. Do you plan to fix some of the old bugs? Oh, no, we did that one.
Yeah, you just did that. Well, 10.
10. Will the new dungeon have something special, time limit, or a new obstacle?
Special, yes. Time limit, no. Obstacle, plenty. Next question.
All right. Number 11. Any plans to increase to 95 or 100?
95, you could probably see that not this year, but very beginning. If we're doing okay, we could see that happening when we have content for it. That's the idea. So the Valdez content is going to be for the current cap still, and then after that, if we move into designing a field map like, say, Rosen, we could then see a level cap increase with that content. But that content wouldn't come until 2017, because that would be the earliest we could get something like that out.
Now, you just mentioned something, and I don't know if our players know about it.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever announce Rosen before this?
Oh, the original development team announced Rosen,
Okay.
In, I don't know, 2009 or 10 or something.
So, for those who don't know, Rosen, and we are trying to get it to work. In fact, we wanted to have it by end of last year.
A lot of resources for it, but
we ran into some snags. One of those being, if you load into it, you fall through the earth.
Right. We made this beautiful map design, these big cliffs and buildings on top and bridges spanning across, and then when you load into it, you just kind of fall through the earth and then fall through the earth again, and then again.
But, I mean, just for those who are watching, that is one of the things. And it is a whole brand new area, correct?
Right.
So
and
for those who don't know, it is a brand new location, brand new map, brand new... Does it have new monsters?
Well, there were some designs that were given to us, that were there already by the original development teams, and a lot of content for this expansion was there and just not implemented. So we took from that, and then Alteris, whom you may know from the forums, he actually made a new map that was going to be the initial entry point for Rosen, and that's when we ran into the issues. And it has to do again with the legacy software that that we're using for the builds. I mean, Requiem was originally built on XP machines. That's how long ago it was built when this game was made. So
Doctor Who's awesome, by the way.
Doctor Who is awesome with it. We don't use XP machines, obviously, and then you run into all kinds of issues with the software that you use to build. So, where were we? I lost my train of thought.
Well, here, I mean, the recap on that question is that particular statement is, we definitely want that. This very much sounds like something that would be great for level 95 to 100.
Right, fixing the problem of falling through the map. That's where I was ending up.
Yes.
So.
We don't know how to fix it yet. We're working on it. When do you plan to fix the theme battle enchants? Or he put in parentheses the weapon enchants.
See, now that's another one I need.
More info.
Okay, well there are lots of different enchants, but the theme battle, when he says theme battle enchants, I'm wondering if he's talking about skill proc enchants, or if he's talking about, I'm not sure, or if he's talking about stuff you get via battlefield blood or whatever.
I don't know.
He's probably talking about the battlefield blood stuff. So.
I don't know. That is a question you can answer on another show.
Yeah, we'll have to do that.
We can go back to that one later on. When
and
we
might even need to drag Alteris in here too, because he designed the battlefield vials of battlefield blood thing.
Oh, very cool. All right. Will you add other ways to earn vials of blood?
That is the battlefield blood, yeah. I know they're very popular. I never really got into that system myself anyway, but yeah, we can do that now that I know you really, really want them, and I've heard it recently before. Definitely considering to find different ways to earn.
All right. So when will you update Battlefield rewards? We still have the old rages.
That's fail on my part. Yeah, I wanted to do that months ago, but I never could decide on what exactly to replace them with. And I got some good suggestions, but not enough to really make it like a full set to replace all these rage items. And you're right, time is past, man. It needs to happen. So we'll get that done, I would say, in the next month or two. I don't want to nail down a date because there's too many things going on.
Okay, so just Lay Pipes 187
it's
says,
an easy change. So yeah.
What about the Avenge Strike on Adventure class? Can you please make it 18 meter instead of 15 meter to dash? The effects on Avenge Strike is useless. Can you change it to slow or something that's good for the Avenger?
Can you copy paste that?
Copy paste. Where would you like me to copy paste it?
Yeah, just copy paste it anywhere, and then it's right there. Yeah, messenger service there. Yeah, because then I like that idea. I think that's great.
I'll put it. So
maybe
we're gonna,
not exactly word for word, but almost.
So we'll go ahead and put that in there. I mean, and that's the one thing that we need to keep in mind is even when a suggestion is made, there are balance issues that need to be kept in mind.
Right. That one is not. We're talking about its utility of the distance that you can dash, and a distance between 15 and 18 is not gonna. It's not gonna throw balance off, but it sure is gonna make it a lot nicer for that class right there. They can now do it at 18.
Lay Pipe's definitely something that we can look into and implement fairly quickly. That is an easy thing.
Yes.
All right, so number 15 in our list of when do you plan to do some serious changes to summons and dominators in general?
I can tell I know who asked that question.
Yes, this is all Kazarin.
I know, but that one in particular definitely comes from him. I don't have a good answer for that. Other than the revisions, the minor changes to different values for skills that are going to go into the wrap-up patch, because we're done with this whole skill update thing. I wanted to bring with me to this stream a whole review of actually how many skills we modified, how many skills we added, how many, basically just what we did over the course of the last 6 months on skills, just to demonstrate that this has been a skill update, even though people feel there's still balance issues, and there are. I'm not going to deny it. And we're not done changing skills, but for the purposes of what we've been calling skill update, we need to wrap it up. And I think during the next stream, we'll go over what's happened and what I could still do in one more patch to wrap it up with.
Okay. All right, so we did that one. All right, so number 16. When you plan to add vital powers for level 90 and new common armor weapons 70 plus?
Potions.
Potions. From 90 plus mobs, we still drop 65 Xmas gear and level 70 waters, or potions.
No, they're waters. Actually, waters is what they're called.
Yeah. About waters, having them on a fixed 1 minute CD would be better than the higher the pot, the higher the CD.
That's strange now. I thought that for waters it was a fixed cooldown. Not between like the ones you get in the item mall, for instance, and the ones you get off drops, but I thought the different level ranges of them might had the same cooldown. I'll double check on that. If that's not the case, it seems more appropriate that they would have equal cooldown. Now the cash shop ones, of course, have less cooldown because that's the convenience of the item mall.
So in general, we can look into that.
Yeah,
and see if it's like that.
And as far as the level range is being appropriate for the stuff that's dropping, there are new sets of standard or what you might call junk gear or whatever that drop in Valdez, I believe. And there'll be more with the Valdez expansion. So
cool.
Yeah.
All right, so that's it for Kazan's questions. Now we have Rec Test 1. And he says, when you ban, do you also see who the account has been mailing trading to and that ban account? Or records check IPs? Like, these are alt accounts that feed a main account. Killing alt accounts won't do much. It's more than account they feed that you want. So, I mean, generally I can also answer that as well. So when we go into banning, there's a couple of different steps. I can't actually detail for security reasons. I mean, we don't want to tell people how we ban everyone, but we do check a lot of stuff. In fact, we check multiple IPs.
We can
check
say
accounts.
that we can see all that if necessary.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, we can see accounts that were accessed. Was that a proxy account? What other accounts are related to that? I mean, there are far more deeper investigative channels that we can use. Some of them we can't mention, and we do check those. I mean, I'm not going to say that we're perfect in that we get every single botter at every single time.
Yeah.
But we do have stuff. Yeah.
When it's a case, I mean, when it's necessary, when the circumstances warrant it, I've traced items back right to their origin, 2008, to see where they came from, or I've traced accounts back to the actual IP of the user that registered. I've done all that when it's necessary, when the offense warrants it, like a bot ring, for instance. Yes, when you find a bot ring that has just been farming land, yeah, I find the land that they've been farming. I mean, to the point at least where I'm not going to go get rid of land that's been, say, laundered through the auction hall several times before. There's a lot of stuff you could do that it'll end up hurting too many people that had nothing to do with it and didn't know. So, but as far as I can, yeah, I'll ban all the accounts that are associated, or we will ban all the accounts that are associated, and get rid of as much of the land that was ill-gotten as possible for those items too. So, yeah.
So, moving on, Devil SNX says, I've been waiting 2 days on the forums for you guys to give an answer on my and other players' questions. File not found problem, and many other players are having.
File not found. Okay. Now, that means that your client is somehow different from what the patcher expected with the patch file. So you're probably, if you have old file not found, you're probably going to have to reinstall. But luckily, that's really easy if you do it with Steam. Totally free and really easy if you get Steam. And then you can actually use, Steam will let you verify the local game file content, which will set you back to 708, the patch number, but that's not that far back. And then you'll receive the patch again. That's the best way to go if you're getting old file not found, because if you've got old file not found,
I know I've answered a few players already on Facebook. There are, like I said, there's the Steam. You check your file. That's pretty easy. I know Steam has some really good instructions on how to do that.
And we have a new installer as well. They can download from at War Portal or Play.
Yeah, there's also a new installer. I know that in the original patch notes, it was also included downloads to, if you want to download the newest patch by hand.
I put them up so people could manually download them, extract them into the patches folder, and then when you run the updater, it'll just look to the patches folder, and instead of downloading the files, it'll just update you.
Yeah.
So that might be easier for some people with poor connections, but that's, yeah. And as far as the forums go, I used to spend a lot of time there, but I haven't had as much time to spend there recently. But
yeah, I know I've answered a couple of people in PM about that same issue. This one may have just got missed.
What's this?
So this is verifying the integrity of a game cache instructions for Steam. So if you have Steam, here's
and if you don't have Steam, you can get it unless you have a problem with Steam necessarily. Just download Steam; it's free, and then you can get Requiem, which is free on Steam, and it's very easy.
Let's see, and then let's see. So as far as Warp Portal, bring that up too, just so we can have those stuff. Yeah, I know for a lot of people the easiest, because I know one person on Steam was having just a terrible time. I've sent him a lot of, yeah, his isn't working, so one of the things that, just trying to avoid having to re-download the entire game.
Oh, to tell him about Verify?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's done all that.
Okay.
Trust me, we went through all the steps, including, there's...
He did that and he's still getting old file not found, you're saying?
Yes, he's still getting old file not found, and then there was, so I told him he may have to reinstall and install, and if that's still an issue, there's something bigger. But I know that was on the Steam forums. I don't know, like I said, I've answered a lot of
Something's
PMs.
up there.
But we are investigating that. If it continues to be a problem, it could be something with our patcher itself.
No, because, well, first of all, the majority of people are getting the patch. They're not, I mean, I'm not saying that you're not having a problem. You are having a problem, and it's our job to try to help fix it too. But I can tell you that old file not found specifically just means your client can't be patched because it's not at the version that it think. You didn't modify your version.dat, did you? Because if you do that, that can cause it. I mean, if you modify any of the files in there, like the version.dat, put a different number on there, it's basically telling the server that, oh, I have this patch when you actually don't. So it's going to download files that are for that version, and it's not going to work.
Hey, one moment. So Devil's like, I have a Steam, but when I log into it, I cannot access any of my other accounts at all.
No, yeah, that's
I made it a completely new account. How do I log into a different account? I have like 7s with you guys. Okay.
Yeah, this is very easy.
Yeah, so this is,
I like this one.
so I'm going to assume your other accounts were created on Warp Portal. Because if they were created on Warp Portal, easiest thing to do, go to your Steam folder.
The Requiem folder in Steam. You can browse it through the Steam interface.
So, you go to your C drive, you look for Steam.
It's in program files usually.
Program files, yeah, I'm looking now on this computer.
You can actually use the Steam interface to just go directly to the local game files folder too.
Yeah, go to Steam, go to, I think it's App Catch.
No, Steam Apps.
Steam Apps.
Steam Apps, Requiem. Or, sorry, Common Requiem.
You're confusing everyone
Common Requiem. There you go.
We have a lot of Steam games.
So yeah, if you just run the updater.
Alright, so what you're going to do is go Steam. This is generally, if you put your Steam folder somewhere else, just kind of follow their Steam Apps to the Commons folder to Requiem, and there'll actually be an icon called Launcher 2.
No, wrong one.
Wait, which one?
Updater USA.
Oh, Updater USA. Right click on that, and then you can launch the game from there.
Or just make a short
Yeah, I mean,
desktop shortcut to it. It's
what
called Updater USA. You run it, you'll connect to the Requiem client without an automatic login, which is what happens when you launch through Steam. It automatically gives your credentials for logging in. There's a process that happens through the launching it through Steam.
And then it should be noted that that's one of the things that isn't quite apparent up front with using Steam and Warp Portals. So they actually do create 2 separate accounts. An account that was created on Steam will be separate from an account that was created on Warp Portal. And if you buy any points for that, you need to buy, if you have a Steam account, you need to buy any points and stuff on your Steam account. If you have a Warp Portal account, you need to make sure to buy your stuff on Warp Portal. Now,
if you're using a Steam account and you're buying stuff there, and then you log in one day on your Warp Portal account, your points aren't going to be there.
Yes, but I mean that's kind of the fix we have, because it is I mean, generally it's much easier to download or fix a game through Steam than it is to try and mess with the other methods, so...
But Steam sets you up like you're a new player, basically. When you get the game, it's going to set you up with an account, and you're going to automatically log in on it. You just close the client, browse your folder, click on Updater USA, and it'll launch the client just like it usually does for you.
Yep. And that makes it all nice and easy.
Hope that's helpful.
Yeah. But if you're still having the file not found issue,
I recommend the Steam reinstall.
Yeah, just reinstall it or check your integrity.
Also,
or verify your game cache integrity.
Also, if you write into support, I'll be probably seeing that ticket too. There's a possibility, and if you give information like what the current contents of your version.dat file are, it'll help us to figure out what went wrong, why you got the old file not found, maybe. But again, the solution is probably always going to be reinstall with that, because you just can't get the files to the state you want them to be to have the patch applied unless you're already there, so you need to reinstall.
Yeah, so it says, okay, I'll give it a try too. Also, the error that pops up is the old file not found. However, a file of the same name was found. No update done since file contents not found. If this helps with you guys.
Someone from some software company a very long time ago wrote that string, that line right there, and it has persisted. It's in, you can find it from Battlefront to Requiem to every gaming system out there that uses a patching that updates will have this error, the old file not found. It's any updater, patcher, or system like that is going to have this. And it's just when the stuff is not recognized. It can't be patched because the patches are very specifically to save, it's for efficiency, purposes of efficiency, to only line edit these things that need to change. And so if what it's trying to line edit, if that line is different than what it expects, it can't proceed.
All right, so there's that. Let me make sure we don't have any more questions on our thing.
I wanted to go over some quick teasers about stuff that's coming up too, just so you know what I'm working on.
So now we'll go, right.
I wanted to mention first that we're going to have permanent costumes, just like we have permanent mounts in the future here pretty soon, and I'm going to go ahead and let there be 8 enchantment slots in those costumes. So not reinforceable, we're not talking about having reinforceable costumes, that's kind of crazy. But having 8 enchantment slots, you can mix and match an additional 8 slots of enchantments. Is pretty awesome. That'll give you a lot more playroom, and every character, it's open the same amount to each character, and what you can fill in those slots it just makes a lot more variety. It's cool to have 8 more slots for enchantment. And it's cool to have a permanent pay costume that you don't have to pay for every month.
I'll give it a try. Thank you for your help. Nice to finally meet you guys. Oh, it's nice to meet you too. And that's one thing I want to bring up on the perma costume is what's going to be kind of cool. It should be a new costume every month.
Yeah, we'll release them in stages, but so that every race can take advantage of each of those.
And then one day, if we can get our things to work, maybe we'll have some new stuff, so they're not all invisible.
Yeah.
All right, so you did the enchantment costumes. Anything else you want to announce?
Yeah, well, I want to announce we'll be, rather than having new map design, but before that, the new map design, there's something we can do to reintroduce old maps. I know you guys like the haunted mine, except that it is totally camped. It has been camped by botters and hackers, which we've been going through and trying to get rid of as many as we can, and you'll be doing, what is it, Murder
Hour?
That's right, Murder Hour.
Yeah, so, I mean, this is one of our murder hours, although, obviously, as pointed out, now that we have the murder hour, people aren't in murder hour.
Right, they're not botting anymore when we're there. Oh.
But, I mean, the funny thing about this that I do want to point out is that even though right now, yes, this murder hour is the most public time, we do log in occasionally at different times, and we have GMs that are constantly going in and checking and investigating different accounts. So just because this point, don't worry, this doesn't mean that this is the only time we check the haunted mines.
No, and
this is just we're here. We got a lot of reports that the Haunted Mines had a lot of botting and hacking issues, so here we are.
It's a great farming dungeon is why, and that is what I wanted to mention, and what I'm saying we're going to have before even the Valdez expansion is released. There are some really easy map implementations we can do, like Haunted Mine used to be the prisoners' labor camp, and I redid the drop stuff so that it would be a good farming dungeon, but it's kind of intended for lower level ranges. We have also the Abandoned Mine and Freedom Mine. Now those aren't open right now, but they just sit there. They have old monsters, probably old drops and monsters in it, which is one of the easier things to update. You can do that in maybe a week or so, have that all ready to go, and we can re-release these old dungeons as new farming dungeons with a different level range of mobs and different drops. And it'll be like Haunted Mine, except for different level ranges. And
well, then it'll also give people
maybe
more
make them
opportunities,
instances as well.
And you're also not staring at the same scenery every time you're farming.
And it's 2 new maps without increasing the resources necessary for. I mean, because these maps are already running, they're just not accessible. So we're not running into any issues there. It'd be fun and easy to do. That'll come in the next month or two, I'd say. And then let's see it. I want to skip all of the holiday. I could name all the holidays we want to have events for, but that just sounds gonna. Okay.
Yeah.
So
We want
after
surprises
that,
for you guys.
let's see. There's some technical stuff where I'm cutting more costs by by combining some of the GM tool databases and and decommissioning this server because we moved everything off of it onto these servers that are new and better, but now we have less servers running and less license costs to pay, and yay, a lot of that stuff happens in the back end. You guys have no idea I'm doing that, and it doesn't even matter to you, but it does to me because that helps us keep the game going. So a lot of that stuff's going on in the background. I'm not going to get into the technical details on it, though. Also, we have plans to try to find and re-implement some of the stuff, like the deprecated stuff, like that they called optimization, that I just called plain old removing good eye candy. They took out the ice bridge, they took out the hammerine tree effects, they took out the cyclone heights. Like, there's this huge freaking cyclone in the middle of Cyclone Heights. It was cool. It was awesome looking, and it went right down to the center of where there's like the the diamond-shaped thing that's like plunged into the earth, like a hedron right there. And there used to be a big cyclone that was just coming off the top of it, and like I said, the hammerine tree used to just glow and have all kinds of fairy-looking stuff flying around it. It was great. And then there was that huge ice bridge in Crescent that went across this humongous ice valley, and it was just awesome to look at. But at the time, the developers said, well, people's computers aren't good enough, and people are complaining about being choppy when the poor performance, so let's just remove all this stuff. Well, now people's computers are a little better. I think we can try to find some of that eye candy and put it back in.
So bringing back a lot of the legacy items that were part of the original, like Bloody Mare, Memento Mori. We have been reading a lot of the forum posts that a lot of people missed that kind of stuff, and we definitely want to bring that back because it does. I mean, those were cool things.
They're awesome.
I'm kind of sad that I've never actually had a chance to see them live. I've only seen pictures of them.
I doubt you've even seen the hammerine tree effects. They used to be so cool. Anyway.
Yeah. All right. So after those problems, look for the Warlords, please. These have an infinity combo using only Fear, Terror, and Terrified Scream. Many players can't play versus it. Many players are dying without doing nothing on PvP because the class are mini OP. You need to change.
Talking about Warlords.
Yeah.
That there's a combo using Terror and Terrified Scream. Well, I'll look into that further then. I thought we just made like those specific. No, not those specific changes. More than just me working on skills recently. I'm having a little bit of help from Alteris too. But I'll look back into that. The cooldowns on Warlord might need adjustment. So, yeah. What's that? It's Steamfall. More directions though.
So yeah, let me go ahead and bring that up.
Oh, I should also bring up that one of the programmers is working on trying to make it so that we can expand content still. But the other one's working on skill options, making a new skill option that didn't used to work, knockback, which is cool because we already have dash, and you can dash forward, dash backwards, but can you like make another player dash away from you? For instance, knockback. So that never worked before. The old developers said it wasn't possible. We've got a programmer working on it, and it's looking pretty possible to me. That's going to be cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. Oh, there's where the Steam stuff is. Oh,
Yeah.
Should be the same default for everybody, just about.
Yeah,
Unless
he
they
was
don't have a
asking.
C drive.
And whatever drive you have your program files on. That's the one.
So I guess besides the knockback, and there's one more thing I wanted to kind of mention, which I'm not going to get into great details, but which we'll have more information on later, is we have an anti-hack, anti-cheat tool that programmers are done with. We just haven't put it in yet, but it's going to go in soon. I'm not even going to tell you when necessarily it's going to go in, but if you're hacking or cheating, you'll probably notice. So
Just so you
that's
know,
kinda cool.
yeah, so just to recap, yes, we are actually, our programmers have developed a new hack shield type thing, hackbot detecting,
Just calling it the cheat tool.
the cheat tool, which will make our murder hour far less exciting, but
Yeah, that's
that's
unfortunate.
okay. We can play through some other stuff. I know I definitely want to get into more playing the game, showing off some of the dungeons, and hopefully definitely we can start showing off some of the new stuff that will be, should be coming out in the next couple months.
And don't worry, there are plenty of speed hackers out there that are running the bots that just, they're modifying their client. They're not running any cheat, so they'll still be speed hacking, and we'll still bust them. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's okay.
Ask me for about error patch. You can PM me. I'll help you to fix it.
It's
What?
possible. He's just offering his help to fix the patching issue. But hopefully the Steam thing will just do the trick.
Yeah.
All right.
And like I said, Steam has, okay. So, again, Enkari said, please put anti-cheat. This cheaters will spoil the game, impossible to play. Yes, as we were just talking, that is something we know that was at the forefront. And, well, hopefully make it a lot more entertaining for people to farm the new dungeons without having to deal with all the hackers and cheaters who go in and take all the loots, all the cheats, all the loots. So, yes, what do you have any idea of how close to implementation that might be?
Yeah, it's done, so we'll probably put it this week, next week.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So, hopefully soon. Obviously, we can't tell you guys how that works. That would kind of defeat the purpose, but
We'll
yay.
talk about it next time a little bit more, maybe
Yeah.
when it's in, and we can say, oh yeah, it's working or not.
All right, cool. So we are now at 4:56. We do have RO2 live stream starting up at 5 o'clock. So you've got 2 minutes. Is there anything, or I guess 3 minutes. Okay, no, we're not 2 minutes. Anything you want to say? Anyone who wants to ask us anything right now, ask quickly. I did move my location because I noticed that we weren't seeing any bots, so I figured I'd show off this
It's a nice
really
place.
cool. I really like the inside of this room.
Dark Sanctum.
Yeah.
You know, I have a move to coordinate that if you look up, it's inside the chandelier
Inside
looking
the
thing up there. Yeah, I'd give you that. You
Yeah, it's
can work
very,
that up there.
I just think it looks really cool. It's very Geiger-esque.
Yes.
I want to have more
Geiger-esque.
Geiger. Can we have more Geiger dungeons?
Yeah, if we have an artist like Geiger making all
I
the
think
textures,
I
yeah,
can
do
make
it.
a texture.
Do it.
We just can't get the texture to be visible. That's the problem.
No, for the walls and stuff, we can do it. If you can make good wall textures, you do it.
I can make a wall texture. I've made textures for all kinds of games. In fact, all you guys who probably play MMOs have used some of my textures and never realized it. I can't name the game because that would be competing.
Okay. I thought your Voxion looked great until I got it in the game and couldn't see it at all.
Hey, the Voxion looks great as long as we're only using what's up, SVC or
scope, NIF scope.
NIF scope. Outside of NIF scope, we can't see anything. All right, so Helium muito voce, chicas on forum. Hey, are you guys raising the level cap again? Not yet. We did talk about that earlier.
Yeah, I know.
Next year, if we can get Rosen to work, we would really love to raise the level cap.
I'd like to get this current event working though.
If
yeah,
not,
that's
we
what I'm
will
gonna
find
go
a
to right
way
now.
to raise the level cap.
No, level cap will be like early next year if that's going to happen. Yeah.
What? Okay.
About the warlords. Yeah, I'll be working on them, and like I said, we're going to wrap up the skill updates with one final patch, and it'll include some fixes for the kind of stuff we talked about just here right now.
Yeah.
Like warlords cooldown, stuff like that.
Battle points, please, after MT.
Battle points, please, after MT.
Explain that a little bit, maybe?
MT.
Maintenance? Well,
Oh, after maintenance,
yeah.
battle points should have been distributed. Yeah, I gotta go fix it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We need this event in. So.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes.
That was wonderful.
All right, so
Now back to stress.
that's it for our Requiem Murder Hour. Thank you for joining us, Helium.
Thank you.
Go fix things.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to this.
Thank you for joining us in game. No, we're not going to expel the Russians from the game.
We love Russians.
But we want to try and make it so everyone has fun. All right. So thank you for joining me. I'm CM Varitas. I was joined here today by Helium. We are hoping to have these more often. Looks like it'll be Thursday, but the next one will be 3 to 4, not 4 to 5. Since I did look at our Twitter results, and it seemed like most of you liked having it slightly earlier in the day. So I'm going to adjust to that. And if anyone wants to give other suggestion for times, we are willing to really mess up our time schedule to meet when would be more useful for you guys, because we know a lot of you guys are international around the world, and we want to make this as accommodating as possible. Okay, well, thank you for joining us. Have a good time, have fun, and we will get things fixed. Yes. Adios.